Good morning, guys. This is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. Welcome back to my channel. And I just caught myself. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, coffee, tea, or me, or steak, tofu, whatever, guys. I'm always hungry and I'm always ready to chat. So please like, subscribe, and share. There's over 6,500 of you. I so appreciate it, guys. I'm going live May 24th, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Birthday live, guys. Please spend an hour with me on my birthday. 5 p.m., May 24th, Eastern Standard Time. Thank you. Guys, Gypsy Rose. So, you guys saw the video that Nina put out breaking down, how Gypsy Rose had the chromosome disorder and the malingering over the Munchausen, by proxy. So, in all fairness, the first time I heard of this was by Fancy. So, Fancy had a lot of that information, and she brought up that chromosome disorder not that long ago, and I spoke about it briefly. Here's the thing. That's in the medical records. It shows up in the medical records. But there's a lot of stuff that shows up in the medical records that's not true, right? So there's, if you were to believe everything in the medical records. So what is it that we believe? Yes, there's a chromosome disorder. It's in there, and it has varying degrees of how it affects you. And Gypsy falls under that category. And if you were to take that diagnosis and you were to look stuff up, maybe that would show for several different things. You see what I'm saying? So what everybody has been saying that has been up to speed on this and isn't wearing these rose-colored glasses and is in the real world of what happened with Gypsy Rose Blanchard and what she did to her mom, Dee Dee Blanchard, and how she manipulated Nick and how she had all of this misbehavior and actual antics with Dan, who was so much older than her, and all of her just poor and questionable behavior that still exists to this day, was something that we've all seen by Gypsy, but now things are coming out even more clear, and we can see it any which way. Did she have Munchausen by proxy? If you want to believe that she had it, is there any real proof that she had it? No. As a matter of fact, there's the opposite proof if you look into the medical records. And if you want to find the chromosome disorder, it's there. Whatever the reason is, nothing justifies the behavior she had in unaliving her mom. Nothing justifies it, whether she had the chromosome disorder, even if she had Munchausen syndrome by proxy, it doesn't matter. She didn't have Munchausen by proxy. But you don't get the right to unalive people. You get the right to get up and leave. You get the right to make a complaint. You get the right to call the police. You get the right to live your life. You don't get the right to take away anybody else's life. And my problem is, people seem to think that that was the only choice she had, and boy, isn't she a survivor because she was a victim. Well, now what's coming out, plain and clear, is that no, she wasn't. She was a co-conspirator and a fraud. Huge fraud. She never had her hair shaved until it came time with Hurricane Katrina to get put into a helicopter, scream cancer survivor and needing cancer treatment, to be put in a helicopter and then ultimately get a house that she doesn't have to pay for. Her and her mom don't have to pay for. But that's why her head was shaved, and then to keep the grift going. So that's what she had to do to get a free house. You know how many people would shave their heads to get a free house? So there's so much that Gypsy wants us to believe, but yet when we look, there's so much that says Gypsy's just selfish. She's an MURDERER. She's a manipulator. She's everything that we thought she was as soon as she opened her mouth and started speaking. Had Gypsy had gotten out of jail, kept her mouth shut, written one book with the help of somebody with lies, she could have walked away with millions. But now what's happening is, you know that story about behind the curtain? The person behind the curtain. Do not look behind the curtain, because behind the curtain is just an old little old man with a funky mustache, right? In The Wizard of Oz, who just had a bunch of fake, what's the word I'm looking for? Fake mirages for you to look at so that you could believe it. Well, that's the same thing with Gypsy. She's just showing you some fake shit over here for you to look, and then because nobody else can tell you another dialogue because that person's unalived, that's what we're told to believe. But Gypsy didn't have the common sense to keep her mouth shut, so that we didn't get to see her behavior. Once we saw her poor behavior, we got to look and see what really happened there. Because we kind of bought the Munchausens by proxy. We kind of bought that. Until her behavior showed us otherwise. And then real people who have the Munchausen by proxy, when their stories didn't match, and when Gypsy started taking somebody else's story, this is when the content creators said, wait a minute, this doesn't go with what she said. And I have broken down lie for lie for lie for lie for lie, and it seems like we've all, been breaking it down. I don't want to hang on to speculation of things, especially when, to me, it doesn't matter. The chromosome disorder is there. Is that responsible for everything that she's gone through? Has some of the things been exaggerated? Yes, I believe some of the things have been exaggerated. The bottom line is nothing, not one thing, justifies what she did to her mom and the way she treated Nick or the way she treated Ryan. Do you think anything justifies? We've been around for the Ryan thing. Have you seen anything that justifies the way that she treated Ryan? A guy that just loved her, didn't want to be cheated on, didn't want to be made a fool of. We can all put our hands up and say, nope, I'd stand up for that too. I don't want to be made a fool. I don't want to be taken advantage of. I don't want to look stupid. So we can see the behavior that she's allowed us to see, and somehow some of us are still stuck with, yeah, but she didn't do that to her mom. Nah, she didn't do that to her mom. But she did. And she admits that she had a huge hand in doing that to her mom. Now you guys are starting to find out there was really no reason for that. It wasn't to escape. You know that in the interrogation, she told the cops, yeah, my mom, she kicked me out. She was fed up. She kicked me out, right? And then it became a medical issue when they said, yeah, you're going to jail. That was the first time there was a medical issue. You guys know that. I keep bringing that up. You guys have seen that. So, I think for most part, I'm speaking to the choir now, right? I'm preaching to the choir because I think most people on this channel have really figured out that Gypsy's full of shit. And, the people that support her just look foolish at this point, that there is nothing that is true about her. And she just uses people. And we've been through this before, so I really don't want to repeat myself. I did want to bring up Nina's video and a little talk about the chromosome disorder, which I have spoken about before. Fancy's spoken about as well. We all, the content creators, seem to now be pretty much on the same page, and it seems like we're not going to let Gypsy get away with anything. We're going to call her out on everything because we want to shut her down as far as the influence she has on society. It's really not okay that people celebrate her when her behavior isn't anything to be celebrated. It's dangerous behavior. So, guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. As usual, thank you so much. I hope I've given you a little bit of food for thought and made your day a little bit better. Hopefully I've given you something and didn't take away anything. All right, guys, please like, subscribe, and share. Be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Always be kind. Never be Gypsy Rose Blanchard.